All right, guys, my name is Terry Flowers. We are here at the EIC with the MX Showcase Day. All of our 8th graders, you can probably hear them in the background, are out there pitching their businesses and showing everybody that's coming through. We've got parents here, we've got EIC students, and then obviously all the 8th graders that are selling their businesses. With me around the table today are...
I'm Ashley Schmidt from Thompson Station Middle.
Mike Morrow, Woodland Middle.
Clark Oldham from Grassland Middle.
Great. And tell us just a little bit about what this day has kind of meant for you, seeing some of these things in action.
I think what it is kind of to see all of it come together into one piece. Because we're all so separate from each other and what we're doing, it's nice for us to get together and see that the kids are kind of having the same plan, the same idea, and all these different ideas that they've got to be able to pitch it. It's amazing to see this all at one time.
Yeah, it's great.
It's just nice to see everybody together and to see that we're all on the same page with the program. It was nice.
The students, they've really bumped up their performance. I know they've worked extremely hard this last couple of weeks, and they've really done a good job of pulling everything together and then just seeing it all culminate today here with all the other schools. It's really rewarding.
Yeah. Hey, and just joining us in studio here around the table.
My name is Hunter Bird. I am the EIC teacher at Legacy Middle School, and this is our second year doing it here.
So Hunter,
The two-year vet.
The
yes.
2-year vet here. Tell us a little bit about, you guys didn't do this last year.
Yes. So our first year at the EIC for 8th grade, we do it with our 8th grade classes. We were the pilot class or the pilot group last year, and we did a lot of trial and error, and we learned a lot. And so this year we're doing this showcase where the students get to set up trifolds and really share the business idea with parents and people in the community that want to know about it. I think it gives these kids a lot of real life experience that they really aren't getting in the classroom, and I think it's really neat what we're able to do with it.
Cool. Tell us, we'll kind of do this for everybody, but tell us a little bit about why this program, not necessarily this day, but the program in itself, why you think it's important to have.
Yeah, good question. I think that, the biggest part of it is that I feel like this generation of kids, they spend a lot of time communicating through every other medium besides in person. And I think that this class, just the people skills and social skills that it develops in these kids is extremely needed, and they really do not get it anywhere else. From teaching eye contact to staying on point to talking in front of a class, public speaking. I think this class really does all of that well, on top of the added benefit of the business side of it, thinking out a business, like fleshing that out and seeing like what all goes into it, because they truly don't have that idea. And it's really unique to see what they come up with and how far they're able to take that. Great. So I'd say those were the social elements and the business side of it.
Yeah, that's great.
Presentation skills have been huge. I mean, just like you mentioned about the social media, screen time. I mean, they really have a hard time functioning face to face, and to have this class opportunity and have them for a full semester and see maybe that person that you really thought was kind of shy and didn't really make a lot of eye contact or very self-confident has really come out of the shell and done a great job in this program and presenting themselves. And sometimes it's a real surprise to see those students do that.
I think also the scope of what this is so much bigger than what they're used to in a regular academic class. If they work in a group on a project or something, it's usually 3, 4, 5 days and it's done. To work with a group over a semester long, it can be difficult, and to work through those problems really is one of the main things, is working through the problem, figuring out a solution, and then moving forward to where everyone is happy. Those are, like was said earlier, those are the real life skills that they're getting from this in many ways.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Just slide on down.
I was just going to say the problem-solving skills, working with the kids together, making sure that they can work with a group. It might not be their best friend they're working with, but they're making it work.
So as you guys look at this and the expansion of this, hopefully, right? The hope is to have this in all the middle schools and try to, increase some of the stuff you guys are doing, maybe ideas that you guys have at this point that, hey, it was kind of hard with this piece of it. Let's hear some of those too. Some of the good, bad, and hopefully kind of where we expand from here. So
Well, we were just discussing today with Dr. Qualls, some of us, about the fact of how much more engaged this seemed to be, and possibly flipping this with another portion of the program that we've done before. And Dr. Qualls used the term hitting a moving target. Yeah. And that's a glory of the program, if you so to speak, because it is a moving target, and we have the ability to continue to manipulate it and formulate things that seem to work well for the students. And I think it's just going to be a great program and just continue to get better and better.
yeah.
I think that the kids working with the high school we currently do it when we come here the 3 times we come, but I feel like if we could get them more involved and more, maybe even at our home schools,
Yeah.
I think that would benefit a lot too, letting them see what actually is beyond 8th grade, what can happen in high school, and learning a little bit more about their opportunities in the high school
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that this part of the program does really well is like the ideation part of it all, like thinking it out. But I think that another element that we could add is like actually give these kids a set budget and like actually let them build out some of these ideas. So, because you get a whole wide range. Some kids are like developing in their minds a, multi-$1,000 application, and other groups are actually sticking to like a $100 budget on their prototype.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think finding like actually giving them a budget and like resources to actually like execute prototypes and things like that would be like a cool thing we could do. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I think connecting it, which I think is an idea that they're coming up with, is to connect it to the technology side of things. So if these kids, there's so many ideas that have apps and they have them on paper, they don't really have the ability to create that app, even in its basic form. That I know at the high school they do that here, where they have it and then they give it to the other side of it, and they're able to produce something of quality and be able to see it. I think that's something that moving forward would be a necessity for us to do at the middle
I
school.
think that, like, going back to what Ashley said, like, that is that connection with the high school. Like, these kids are practicing coding. Like, here's a real life thing that we would like you to make. If you can make it, like, let's see, what areas you can improve in.
Right.
A little cross curriculum working together.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, well, even our EI1 students here, their whole idea is to have that minimal viable product. So a lot of them don't even have prototypes that first year. They have the concept, they have something that they can show people, but it may not be a working prototype. It's the idea that they're pitching, and the investors then at the end of the year will come in, and a lot of them don't make, and they have to change and do something next year. But the bottom line is, once they hit that second year here is when they really start doing some of that prototyping. So maybe even connecting some of our EI2 students that have the existing businesses that are actually selling product and doing that kind of stuff to come in and kind of work through that process. Yeah, that'd be great. So anything that you see that we need to do differently, just from an organizational thing of how we help you, how you guys help each other. Like you said, this is one of the first times you guys have seen everybody all together. So maybe it's different times during the course of the year for you guys to all kind of mesh together and create something together.
I think that's moving forward. I mean, I'm sold on this. I'm definitely planning on coming back and doing it because I see the value of it for these students. But giving us the avenue and the opportunity to come together and to where it's more of a cohesive idea. The curriculum is so large that there's no way that we can hit everything.
Yeah.
But if the 4 of us and 5 and 6, whoever else comes on in the future, can get together to where we know we're hitting the same pieces, we're not uniformed and doing the exact same thing, but we're still hitting the same pieces.
Yeah.
I think that's really important moving forward, so that when we come here, there's sort of a constant part of it for all of us.
Right.
I would say it's almost like us functioning as a PLC,
Yeah.
like
Sure.
the core teachers do. And I think
yeah.
that's very important moving forward, that we do have that cohesive understanding as what we are going to be doing.
Absolutely.
And another opportunity as well, I think there again, just in the evolving of the program, I've had 2 or 3 parents that I haven't seen throughout the year, but came up today during the showcase and introduced themselves as, well, we're involved with this company. We're involved with this company. How can we get involved with this? How can we get involved with this? Well, if the EIC, if we can maybe better promote or just publicize the openness and the availability of getting outside people coming in as a source of revenue, mentorship, or whatever. I mean, it's just there again. It's just an evolving, growing program that I don't see anything but getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that having the parents come in and out like this is the first event we've done like open to the audience and the general public with our middle school programs. And I think it adds a level of excitement to the kids because all they've done is present to either us teachers or their peers and kids that are their age, and like that's its own challenges. But like having to communicate with an adult and hold like respectful conversations but engaging conversations, I think is terrifying for them, but also it helps them grow. And just being here today, like seeing groups like come out of their shells and get more comfortable, and it just becomes second nature. I think the more opportunities we can have for like the community to come be a part of what and showcase, like this is free advertising for the EIC, and it's helping kids at the same time promote and grow. So like I think that just the more that we can keep the community engaged with what we're doing, I think it gives more opportunities for people to be involved with the EIC, but also gives more opportunities for our kids to grow and learn from people that have lived a lot more life than they have. So
one last thing for me is I think that it's important to understand that we're the foundation of what's going to be happening at the high school. So the stronger that we are as a group and doing what we're doing, the more likely that there's going to be more numbers, larger numbers coming from the middle school who want to be in the EIC, which makes the program at the high school even stronger.
Yeah, and I'll go jump on that boat real quick because I'm teaching freshmen. So I'm picking them right up from where you're leaving off and bringing them into the content class and doing that kind of stuff. So absolutely, anything we can do on that side, we'd love to. It's going to be great. Anything else anybody want to say before we kind of wrap it up here? All good? All right. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.